In 1986, Yoweri Museveni won the presidency of Uganda. Alice Lakwena founded the Holy Spirit movement opposing the presidency. She recruited followers and made alliances with rebel groups with the intention to invade Uganda's capital and free it from government oppression. Lakwena was exiled and Joseph Kony took over the group, renaming it the Lord's Resistance Army. He wasn't recruiting supportive numbers like Lakwena did, so he began abducting children and raising them as guerrillas. The original movement to remove government oppression became the oppression of Uganda itself. Kony uses brutal tactics, often making the kidnapped children kill their families with machetes. The girls he abducts are used as sex slaves or traded with arms dealers. He brainwashes all of the children into angry, murderous adults. Children who haven't been abducted yet go on nightly commutes, walking miles away from their homes to city centers to sleep in schoolhouses, churches, or bus depots to escape abduction from the LRA. Kony has abducted more than 30,000 children and displaced more than 2.1 million people. Along with abduction, the LRA rapes, maims, and kills civilians. This is Joyce. She's just over 8 years old now, but she should have died as a toddler. In 2006, the taxi van that she was riding in with her mother and aunt was ambushed by LRA soldiers, and she was the only survivor. The LRA soldiers fired into the van mercilessly, and everyone but her had been shot before they set flames to the vehicle and watched it burn. Her mother and aunt weren't moving and couldn't save her, so she escaped the van and ran, but the rebels easily captured her. They threw her on the ground and covered her with the grass of Uganda's dry season and put a match to it. The government army was on its way, and when Joyce got up to run away, the rebels retreated instead of giving chase. Joyce was severely burned over 45% of her body. The muscles of her left arm were charred and useless, and the skin of her face was falling away from the bone. The soldiers rushed her to the nearest hospital for first aid. This is just one story of many. The LRA are an atrocious group committing awful crimes, and they have to be stopped. The Invisible Children want to do just that. They are a non-profit organization headquartered in San Diego, employing 43 full-time staff, working alongside hundreds of volunteers to spearhead the advocacy of crimes in Africa. In 2003, 3 college graduates, Jason Russell, Bobby Bailey, and Lauren Poole, witnessed the crimes against humanity taking place in northern Uganda because of the LRA. In 2004, they founded the Invisible Children to solicit donations and sell merchandise to raise money for their cause. The group seeks to put an end to the terrorism of the LRA. The money they raise is used to produce awareness films and for humanitarian aid for the people affected by LRA violence. Kony 2012 is an online campaign formed by the Invisible Children aiming to arrest the head of the Lord's Resistance Army, Joseph Kony, before the end of 2012. The mission uses viral media to raise awareness about Kony's crimes. You have to engage your leaders. The United Nations and African Union have announced the plan to arrest Joseph Kony, protect civilians, and restore communities affected by LRA violence. It'll only work if world leaders follow through by declaring their support and provide the necessary resources. The Invisible Children are calling on world leaders to put early warning systems into effect to warn communities of LRA threats and provide the opportunity for abductees to escape and return to their families, provide the African Union effort with the support needed to arrest Joseph Kony and his top commanders and protect civilians, directly engage with African governments to ensure Kony and his LRA forces cannot exploit remote areas or political discord to find a safe haven. You have to engage your leaders. It'll require international collaboration to bring an end to LRA violence. Before the United Nations Security Council in June, they are asking these 6 influential leaders to commit new resources and make a public statement to champion the United Nations and African Union efforts to end LRA violence. Show your support and sign the pledge on Kony2012.com and ask others to do the same. They will deliver your signatures at the meeting of the United Nations Security Council in June.
Labyrinth, come in.